Michael travels with his compatriots to Kirkistown to introduce this new Italian one-make class to the northern fans.
Once again, it's Michael Cullen on pole position, but beside him a very quick driver indeed. First year at the Uno is Liam Rabbit, and in his car we have a camera pointing out through the back window, and that's the view you'll get. You can see in the background on the second row, the light green car, Stephen Fisk, and beside him, Michael Leonard with a camera pointing forward, so we've got a camera looking at each other, so somebody may get into a camera sandwich.
And off they go, and a very good start indeed by Colin, but look at Leonard on the grass on the inside. We can't quite see him at the moment. He's over to the right. He's just appearing now.
But unfortunately, that's the slow line, so we'll lose out as they head down to a sharp right-hander, and it's all down to braking. But watch for someone on the inside there. Yes, indeed, Fisk has jumped up into second place behind Cullen. And then we have Liam Rabbit. Just look at these screaming through their first visit here to Kirkistown, and they will sing on the back straight.
Now we're looking forward from Michael Leonard's car. That's David Hammond is just in front of it. They're lying in about sixth place at the moment as they come out of the double apex Fisherman's Bend and down hard onto the braking, down into the chicane.
And you can see Cullen Fisk just pulling out a little bit here from Liam Rabbit in third place. In fourth place we have David Hammond and then Michael Leonard. And Hammond at the moment is in a camera sandwich. We're looking through the windscreen of Michael Leonard's car as they get out onto that back straight, and you can see that Liam Rabbit with the back-facing camera is pulling away from these two.
So down they come into the hairpin, down from about 95 miles an hour to about 35 miles an hour. Really heavy on the brakes. They're in third place, Liam Rabbit in fourth place, David Hammond, and we're just looking very closely at him indeed from Michael Leonard's car. Up through the gearbox again they should go, over the start-finish line to complete the lap, and it's Michael Cullen, as we have seen him so often, out there in front. Fisk in second, and this is the battle for fourth place.
Fisk is going to get a little pressure there from Liam Rabbit, but Leonard gaining under braking at the end of the long straight as they come into the first of this double apex, and Fisk again just using that inside line late on the brakes, wouldn't gain a lot. Leonard here sweeping through these S's, and there's a chicane after a long right-hander, and again braking is all important. That's the view from Liam Rabbit's car. He's in third place and leaving that dice between Hammond and Leonard in the background.
Ahead is the chicane, and these first three have really pulled away a bit, so it's Michael Cullen in car number 11, then Fisk right behind him in the distinctive sort of turquoise colour car, and he right out on the curbs there. They're really trying these first two. A Rabbit staying in touch with them, and then behind a little bit we have David Hammond on going down the back straight now with Michael Leonard chasing.
Yes, once again Leonard under braking, closing in on Hammond. You can see as they come up to the long hairpin, Leonard going to the left-hand side of the track, which is the quickest line. He should come straight out as he does on the boot of David Hammond. Hammond using that inside line to protect his line, but that is the slow one, and that's what happens when you have to protect that position.
Now Fisk is under threat from Rabbit there. The second and third cars going through picture, and you can see how fast this debtor's dip corner is absolutely flat out. Down they come onto the braking just about now. Hear them locking up, and here comes the battle for fourth, and there it is, David Hammond. Behind him, directly behind my new man, Eugene Heary, who's moved up a place. So our camera car has obviously missed a gear or something.
Mr. Gear there at Detter's the quickest part, and Heary just nipped through, but Michael will be watching this battle up front. I do believe they're actually beginning to catch the first three because they're beginning to fall over each other, but Heary nipped through there at Detter's. You can see now Fisk just slinging the car through the first part of the chicane, then Rabbit, and you can see that Hammond and Heary and Leonard are beginning to catch the first three.
And naturally enough, our camera is concentrating on this battle for fourth place at the moment. We're back with Leonard up through the gearbox, touching about 95 miles an hour now before they have to really get on the anchors as they come at this point down into this hairpin. It's a very, very long, quite open hairpin, but really quite slow considering.
Really putting a wheel over the line there to get every advantage. Leonard doing the same. These three will bunch up together because it puts you off slightly. Under braking, you think somebody's really on your tail, and you forget that when you accelerate out of the corner, you pull back all that distance that you had going into the corner. But you can see them there. That is the quickest part of the circuit. Flat through that left-hander, down, as Alan said, just late on the brakes and then into a set of S's.
And what a success these little cars have been. Absolutely fabulous. You put one on the track for probably somewhere between £3,000 and £5,000. In its very first season of racing, this Fiat Uno has seen 27 car grids. Now they're showing off at Kirkistown, and this is at the tail end of the field.
Yes, and there was Mark Model's car, and number 15 there, O'Connell, just going straight on. The Sweeney and Forte car just missing his braking point. And that's just how important it is. You go in 5 feet too late on the brakes and you will lock up, and down the inside you will end up on the grass. But we're back with the dice for the lead. Little windscreen wiper running there, only on Cullen's car, but then he would be blocking any spots of rain. And down the inside, an absolutely superb manoeuvre, or was it a superb manoeuvre? Looks as if he had a problem there. Liam Rabbit just coming in. We'll see now as he comes in, he heads for the grass at the hairpin. We can see two black streaks as if he's just pulled the handbrake out of the floor. Did he have a problem with brakes?
No brakes. You okay, Stephen? Brakes, man.
Boys, I can tell you what is up. Get up on the back, please. Just have a quick glance.
So Stephen Fisk, understandably a very perturbed man after that high-speed accident, but it looked like Liam Rabbit had no choice but just to try and decelerate with the handbrake. Both cars badly damaged as the leader comes through to complete another lap. And Eugene Healy now in a lonely third, lonely second I should say, but look at this battle for third.
Yes, the battle for third. Michael Leonard with a camera car again, really tucked onto the bumper of David Hammond. These two have raced before for many seasons in the Ritmos, and they've graduated now to these fabulous Unos. And just look how close it is as they go through that left hand. You can see the bump and just how much they drift out at the speed they're going out. Quick line is down the left, Hammond protecting that inside line. Michael getting the advantage there, just clipping the car. A little flick to the left now and should gain an advantage again. Again, you can see drifting out there the speed they're doing. Next one is a right-hander, and then we go for the chicane.
Meanwhile, jumping ahead to that chicane, the leader coming through. It's getting very damp now. He can afford to take it a little bit more gingerly. He's got a huge advantage over Eugene Healy. He hasn't even appeared yet. There he is, just coming out of the murk as they come into the chicane. And here's this battle for third place. And David Hammond pulled out a few car lengths there, absolutely breathing fire as he comes down the back straight. You can see that Cullen is really being very conservative at the moment.
Leonard using all the road there, and you can see what he's just done, just come up along the outside, but in the chicane, he over the curbs on the inside and pulled back those 2 car lengths, and didn't really lose much there, although he went straight on. Only a couple of car lengths in as they head back to Devil, the quickest part of the circuit. But unfortunately, don't forget, we've lost our second and third place man, originally Fisk and Rabbit, and hence the gap all the way back to Eugene Healy.
But concentrating on this third place dice. And Michael Leonard really putting an awful lot of pressure on the Listerine car. There they go out into the country again. That's known as Second Colonial. Up they come to this very tricky and very fast corner. You more or less ignore the first bit of it. You keep out a little bit there, then bring the car into the apex. Should have been, in fact, he was off the apex there. He's probably lost a little bit.
A little bit close on the apex, but very late on the brakes there. Now let's see, does he jump the curb again on the inside as he did the last lap, heading to the inside. And Hammond's got it out on the grass, and just as well he did go for those curbs, otherwise he'd have collected. Hammond spinning there, still rolling backwards, keeping the engine running. Just you can see the little puff of smoke there. Will he get going? And don't forget, he's in third place still. He's only lost one position, and Leonard now up into third place. So Hammond down as Leonard goes into the hairpin, rooting for gears. A lot of screaming and revving of the engine. It looks like maybe, it looks as if either the gearbox or the clutch has gone as he freewheels down the main straight after just getting by Hammond, and that is a shame.
Very annoyed, and understandably so, Michael Leonard. Close to a halt, no drive whatsoever in the Fiat Uno, and that's the end of his race, when he was in third after all that hard work. But meanwhile, behind him, the man that he was having that tremendous battle with is also in trouble. Brake fade, he goes straight on, as we can see from the back of Liam Rabbit's stranded car. So that was David Hammond having another little excursion.
Yes, if you get a spin like that, it takes you a while to settle down. David obviously came up to the corner all on his own, just overshot slightly. Was very, very lucky not to collect the barrier. But look at the lead that Cullen has now. Unfortunately, our second and third place men went out, but still Eugene Healy, who moved up from the fourth row of the grid, is now in second place. This is Cullen on his way to the hairpin, taking it very gingerly, wiper on full pelt. So you can see there's a little bit of rain out there, and you can see the gap to second.
And up he comes to take yet another victory. And what a success this man is in saloons. Quite amazing in both Peugeots and Unos. There's the result. Good result for Healy. A bit of a stranger up to the Northern Circuit. Michael, another Fiat Uno race under the belt.
Yes, Plum, that's 4 out of 5. I'm absolutely delighted. The advantage we had in time as the car runs away from it.
It's called a runaway win.
Exactly, yeah. Come back. The advantage we had at the start of the season, when I was constantly on pole by a second and a half to 2 seconds, is gone. Both the last Mondello meeting and today, I'm on pole and by fractions of a second. So the other guys are getting closer, and I just hope over the next few races they don't pass me out.
Right, well, you better not lose your car.
I'll try not.
The Fiat Uno